Alright, we're on the play in match 2 of this league with BBE Domain Zoo. Probably not going to say the whole deck name every time because that's a lot longer than Rug Delver, 3 syllables. This looks like a mulligan, so we're not going to keep it. Want green sources. 2 back-to-back hands with birds, but still not really the ability to cast anything, so I think we go to 5. This is better. Doesn't look good, but it's better. I'll keep that, I think. We're on the play, so we might not actually end up keeping it. But being able to go turn 2 Helix into turn 3 Nux, probably a chance back into this game. I don't think I mentioned it in the first match. So just so everyone knows, we're probably going to be on friendly leagues with this deck for at least a little while. I don't exactly want to bleed ticks by not fetching the right land and making bad plays because I've barely ever played the deck. So we're going to be here for a little while, but hey, we're doing well so far and it's been fun. So I am okay with that. We are waiting on our opponent to do something. In the meantime, I will rename the video I just recorded with match 1. Actually, I won't because that's going to make for terrible entertainment. I'm not going to be able to talk at all. I probably can't multitask that well. Typing out a name and talking about the game. However, that game's boring. Let's look at the 75. It's much more exciting. The release notes for Dominaria, of course, as soon as we leave, they do something fantastic. The release notes for Dominaria, set coming out for those who, I think that's how you pronounce it. Set coming out for those who don't know. I believe it's the next set. I'm not positive on that. Not sure what we're up against, but I'm gonna keep Lightning Helix up because this is probably a creature deck. Could be blue-white Merfolk. Could be blue-white Taxes. Could be blue-white something. Anyways, the release notes were leaked, and Wizards put out an official translation as their way of dealing with the leak, because they were leaked, I believe in Chinese, the internet said, and there were a lot of unofficial translations running around. Do we Helix on the end step? I think no. Might Helix in response to that. We also might just untap and Helix it. That seems fine. So anyways, some cards were released, some rules changes were mentioned. What are we going to fetch here? We have Forest. I think I want another green source. Temple Garden's Steam Vents. I don't think I can get punished by that. That doesn't let me cast Nux. How do we cast Nux? Stomping Ground. Can't get a Hallowed Fountain on this. So I need a blue and a red on separate lands. Stomping Ground. I think we're not going to be able to cast Nux and have white mana. I believe white mana is more important due to that Helix. So I'm going to make sure we have white. What if we get Sacred Foundry and Steam Vents? Did it. Get there. Both are red. Both are gettable off of Foothills. That's great. Figured it out. Got there. We did it. Not ideal having double red before we get double green, but it'll do. Oh hey, 4th land. Well, we're going to Helix this and then Hasty Nux. White, red, green. Anyways, some cards got leaked, basically, and then Wizards put out the official translations for it. If you want to know specifics about that, you can probably find it very easily by doing a quick Google search. This could be bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's very bad. We're not going to have Hasty Nux. We're not going to have Nux at all. Anyways, see if I can get through this before I interrupt myself for the umpteenth time. Selfless Spirit, that's not bad, but it doesn't stop Path. Before I make any plays, I'm just going to finish saying it. There is a new card that is probably getting printed. It looks like it's going to get printed. It's called Dampening Sphere, which is a 2-mana artifact, and it makes lands that tap for more than 1 mana tap for colorless and just 1 instead, so Tron Hate, and it also makes spells cost 1 more for each spell that the player casting it has already cast this turn, which also hits Storm. So I'm pretty sure we're going to want it in the sideboard here. Probably just ignoring the counter spells I threw in the board there, because I think that plan might be better. It's basically a Blood Moon that we can cast to slow down Tron. It doesn't really hit much else, so maybe we leave the delays in there anyways to help against combo, but it's also very nice against Storm, which is another matchup I probably want help in, but I don't mind having a couple delays, a couple copies of that. Also means there might be fewer Blood Moons running around in the near future. I don't think we care to path right away. I'm just going to play this tapped. Fewer Blood Moons means that this deck probably has a less difficult time, because I imagine Blood Moon eats it alive. Then again, we did okay against Ponza with Blood Moon out, so who knows? Just wanted to mention it. Well, I have a pretty good idea as to what's getting pathed now. Sure. Can they counter that? They can. This is the Spirits Blue-White Taxes deck. I'm 90% sure I played against this person in the friendly league I played earlier with Delver. I think that's the same username. I'm not sure. Might be. Curious Obsession, very good in Spirits. Probably better in Spirits than it is in Delver. They're going to draw some cards. We probably aren't going to make it this game. We can't cast Knuckleblade. We might hit a bunch of BBEs that cascade into good things. This is game 1, so we don't have Pyroclasm yet. Land not gonna do it. I think we play these out just because of Ghost Quarter. Probably play out the green source before our red source in case they somehow deal with both red sources in succession. I do believe we're just super duper dead though. Even if we hit an out, they can Mausoleum Wanderer to counter whatever, Selfless Spirit to give their board indestructible, flash in a Spell Queller. They actually don't even need to use Flash anymore. Aether Vial handles that quite effectively. I believe we're just extraordinarily dead. No outs for us. Technically, Bloodbraid is an out. That's not. We'll wait to see if they show us another card. I've only played against this deck once in the aforementioned league, so I don't really know how to play against it or exactly what it plays. So I think I'm just gonna see if they give us any more information. That's probably the best we can do. Yeah, we're very dead. Alright, let's go to game 2. What's good against Spirits? How do we fight Spirits? I think we have to race. It seems like we're racing. I like Helix. I like EE. Graveyard Hate bad. Feed the Clan probably bad. Natural State. Blows up Vial and Obsession, so that's not the worst. I like Pyroclasm. Don't think we're going to board an Ancient Grudge. Natural State seems much more versatile. We probably want to cut that Snapcaster Mage. Then again, we're going to be casting some removal spells. I kind of want Path. Kind of don't at the same time. We have to cut 4 spells. It might actually just be Tribal Flames because they're going to be attacking our mana. And Tribal Flames looks a lot worse when our mana isn't great. Then again, that's going to make racing a lot harder. But I think that's okay. We're boarding in Helix anyways. We still have 7 burn spells. Maybe we don't need Natural State because of Pride Mage. Maybe we cut a Pride Mage instead of Tribal Flames, but I think I'd rather have the 2-drop. I'm going to run this. Hopefully that's good. Another place I'm probably going to make countless mistakes. Sideboarding. I'm going to keep this because we have turn 2 Goyf, turn 1 Bolt. It's not great. We probably get Temple Garden or Breeding Pool because I'd love to top deck a land that allows us to cast Mantis Rider. I also might just lead on Basic Mountain so we can bolt on their turn. I like the idea of bolting any 1-drop they play, even if it's just a Mausoleum Wanderer. That sounds great. We also might just bolt face. Then again, I don't want to bolt face probably on turn 1 just because we're probably going to want to interact with the Lightning Bolt. So maybe we lead on Misty and just get a land tapped. That unfortunately has the downside of not letting us draw a card to find out which land is better to cast Mantis Rider. If we pick Temple Garden, say, and then end up finding a white source instead of a blue source, I'm going to be sad. However, I think we're better off getting a shock land tapped than hoping that they play out a 1-drop. The deck doesn't run that many 1-drops that I know of, especially given that Aether Vial doesn't really get lightning bolted. So I think this is the better play, but I'm very much not sure. It's also entirely possible this is a mulligan. Sideboarding, sequencing lands, and mulliganing. That's where we're going to lose a lot of percentage points. I'm probably going to be decent at combat math and figuring out which threat to play first. But sideboarding is going to be very rough. Sequencing lands I will hopefully get through. And I already forgot what the last thing I said was. So there's that. There's the Aether Vial. That makes me glad, but I'm going to try not to assume that makes my decision correct. I'm going to get a Temple Garden. Do I have more white sources than blue sources? White mana is also probably just way more important. They might not have Ghost Quarter right away. Oh boy. I'm still going to slam Tarmogoyf. Still slamming Tarmogoyf. That seems like a good idea. Helix, great. I'd love to top deck a Steam Vents, because that means we can Bolt plus Helix and have the option of Mantis Rider at our leisure. That's probably Thalia. Yep. Oh, sweet. That's fantastic. Now, we could Bolt this, which is good in case they try to flash in a Mausoleum Wanderer with Aether Vial, because if we go for the Helix on this, we have to tap out. That means Mausoleum Wanderer counters it by being sacrificed, and I think I want to get Thalia off the table. Then again, there's the upside of gaining 3 right off the bat, and Helix is just going to get worse because next turn they could go Leonin Arbiter plus Ghost Quarter. That does make me want to fetch right away. I also might just slam that Helix. I'm going to slam the Helix. It's going to cost us some life to do, but we probably end up fetching and shocking anyways, especially in the scenario where they have the Mausoleum Wanderer and it matters. We're going to get Steam Vents because I love being able to cast things. Helix that. Red, white, 1. Do you have the Mausoleum Wanderer? Would you like to make my Goyf a 3-4? Well, it's a 3-4 anyways. Cool. We got to gain 3 life. I'm happy. Definitely not out of the woods yet. But you know what? We're also not dead yet. And I enjoy that. If they hit our blue source again, I'm actually not that sad. Last time they went for the blue source, game 1, I guess they're assuming blue's more important to us than it is. We also boarded out a good chunk of blue cards when we sideboarded, so I like that. Definitely don't think this is a matchup where I want a bunch of blue cards. What do we got here? Probably just Leonin Arbiter, followed by a Ghost Quarter, yeah. Now they're going for the white source. Well, we're not... sure. Why not? We'll click yes. Same outcome, but we get to click yes. We get to bolt one of these, which is nice. And we hit a fetch. So we probably end up bolting the Arbiter. Do we play out the fetch first? We're not going to be able to grow Goyf. It doesn't really matter because we can already pay for Thalia attack, so if they double block, I'm actually ecstatic. Maybe we should have just... No, we can't slam Mantis Rider because of Arbiter, so that was not just a huge misplay. For a second I was thinking we fetch out another white source, slam Mantis Rider, crash in for a bunch, and make them very, very sad. That isn't something we can do. I want to play this. I don't know if I want to go for the Leonin Arbiter now. I don't like the idea of taking non-basics out of my deck in case they have another Ghost Quarter in hand. I do like... I'm going to check Rattle Chains real quick. Oh, that's not on the wrong monitor. That is on the wrong monitor. Rattle Chains. Yes, that card. Target Spirit, fantastic. Can't give Leonin Arbiter hexproof. That means maybe we should just go to their turn, but I'm not sure. I also don't know how important this decision is. We're not playing Delver, so these things don't matter that much. I think I just want to kill Leonin Arbiter. It seems much more important than Thalia, so I know that much. I also want to kill the Arbiter before they get to untap this Vial, so I think we're just going to do all of that. This does open us up to another Ghost Quarter, but we're already very vulnerable there. They probably just go for the white source anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. But this is the only white source we can get off of a foothill, so it's going to be the one we get. We can still cast Mantis Rider for now. Still good. We're also very close to Bloodbraid. Oh, jeez. I elected to not get a green source. I missed the fact that they cut us off of our green source. That's probably very relevant. That is probably very relevant. Alright, fantastic. I would love to find a basic forest. Thank you, opponent. I appreciate that quite a bit. They could have Spell Queller, which makes me want to slam Bloodbraid before Mantis Rider. Mantis Rider does a lot of nothing in the face of a Spell Queller off of Aether Vial, whereas Bloodbraid Elf does quite a bit. We can also crack this to pay the Thalia tax. I would love for Cascade to resolve. What do we got? Is it good? I wonder if you have to crack this first. You probably do. That's probably a misplay. I think you need to crack your land before Cascade resolves, because once Cascade resolves, it probably just says, do you want to cast this? And at that point, I think it's too late. Now the opponent's considering what to Spell Queller with their Aether Vial. That's perfectly fine. We also probably want to just fetch out another basic forest with this. They are going at the Nux, it looks like. And we probably just want to swing in here. Just because Thalia eats Bloodbraid, so there's not really any point in trying to block. It's not going to be very profitable. We are somewhat up on cards, which is nice. If we ever find an answer to Spell Queller, we get a free Knuckleblade. I believe I want to crack this. I think we're getting a non-basic green source. What's in the deck? What lands do we have in the deck? Breeding Pool. The only Temple Garden's gone. We could get Overgrown Tomb, but I believe all of the Tribal Flames are in the sideboard. All of the Tribal Flames are in the sideboard, so Overgrown Tomb is a strictly worse forest. It's going to be Basic Forest, Breeding Pool, Stomping Ground. Don't think we need the fourth red source. I'm going to grab a Breeding Pool, put it into play tapped. I do want to fetch there before they have a chance to get a Leonin Arbiter. Then again, they can't get it off of Vial, so it's a lot less relevant. There's Ghost Quarter. They can cut us off of white. They elected to go at the Breeding Pool. That's great. We're going to grab the basic Plains, I think, to make it harder for them to cut us off of white. Oh, I very much like getting the second blue source there because of Mantis Rider. Getting Breeding Pool there is probably correct. Good job, Self. Good job, team. We did it. We accidentally made the right decision. We did think about it for a non-zero length of time. But still, didn't consider that. Did not consider that. I just figured we already have a bunch of red, may as well get blue. I imagine we want to cast Bloodbraid Elf next turn, but Mantis Rider might be better because Thalia can't block it. Then again, Bloodbraid Elf might cascade into something that kills Thalia, which is kind of nice. I think I just want to cast the Mantis Rider here. It's probably ever so slightly better. Gonna make me sad if they have another Spell Queller, but they only have so many of those. We also might just top deck something that can kill Spell Queller, which would be all kinds of fantastic. That's fine. They're keeping Thalia back to block, which makes quite a bit of sense. I like that out of the opponent. Our deck is probably more aggressive at this point. That does not deal with a Spell Queller. So, do we want to play around this Thalia or the Spell Queller we are assuming is in the opponent's hand? If we want to play around Spell Queller, we cast Bloodbraid Elf because Spell Queller doesn't just Time Walk us, given that we get to cast 2 spells. which is much better than one spell. Mantis Rider, though, does not get blocked by Thalia. However, if they have the Spell Queller, we're going to be exceedingly sad. So what happens in these scenarios? We cast Mantis Rider, they Spell Queller, Mantis Rider goes away, we probably don't swing, they untap, we take 4, we untap, we get to Bloodbraid Elf. In the other scenario, we Bloodbraid Elf, we hit a lot of nothing. Well, what are our hits? What could we possibly hit? All of the removal is live because we have plenty of mana at this point. Okay, Birds of Paradise, very bad hit. Natural State, not the worst. EE, pretty bad. The other card we boarded in, Pyroclasm, not great. Probably just don't want it at all. So we do have some bad hits, but there are only about 5 of them, maybe 6. Pride Mage, Nacatl, not fantastic. Path, Bolt, and Helix are amazing. I also might just hope they don't have a Spell Queller. They might just be bluffing us here, and we do have quite a bit of time. I think I'm going to get aggressive and also cast this while I can. We're running low on blue sources. Do you have an opponent? We've already seen one, and they only have 2 cards in their hand. So it's not super likely. 3 Spell Quellers, 50 cards. We're only going to swing with the Mantis Rider. Attacking with Bloodbraid Elf looks absolutely terrible. I don't know if I play out that Misty. I don't think there's a downside to playing out Misty. If we were up against a Reality Smasher deck or a Liliana of the Veil deck, I could see a lot of reason to want to hold this. As is, it might just deter them from killing our lands because they might think, oh, he just has all of the lands he's flooding out. We may as well just not bother. Let's keep the Ghost Quarters so we can try to keep up on tempo and just abandon the land destruction plan. And I'm pretty in for the opponent abandoning the land destruction plan. Mantis Rider has Vigilance. Very good there. These are 3 very good keywords. What weapon does that monk have? I think that's a glaive. A bit of a spear. Oh, it might be a halberd. It's either a glaive or a halberd. We can't zoom in anymore. What do you guys think? Take another look. We don't have much better to do. It looks kind of like a glaive to me, which I only know because of Dungeons & Dragons. I am not a huge weapons nerd. That seems like a very obscure thing to know. That's probably a Mantis Rider. That's a Mantis Rider. That's very good. Hopefully we cascade into something that can hit this. That'd be great. Could also be a halberd. It looks at least a little like a halberd, but once again, very small. It looks a little thin to be a halberd, though. That's my thought. Maybe a little too wide to be a glaive, though. They're swinging. Do I take that? Aw, Mantis Rider has Vigilance. What are the chances that we're going to draw or cascade into something that can target this? Probably really high. We have probably 8 or so spells that just target that. So I think we're going to run it. That's fine. We'll take it. We're going for gold here. Natural State. Doesn't target that. Forces the issue on this. Oh, geez. Do I have another green source? Tarmogoyf's in the exile bin. We have 2 green sources gone. We do have another green source. I'm going to crack this now. Oh, we have to... No, we can get Basic Forest. It's fine. It's fine. We don't need Stomping Ground. Basic Forest it is. Natural State this. We have to pay the tax. That's okay. We probably just can't cast whatever we're hoping to hit off of Bloodbraid now, which seems really bad. I forgot about Thalia. Maybe we were just supposed to hope they didn't have Spell Queller, or otherwise ignore it. You probably shouldn't click through combat like that. Probably want to cast Bloodbraid first. I think I'm going to offer the trade. I'm going to offer the trade. They offered the trade. I'll offer the trade. They're probably just going to snap block, yeah. Possible we should have blocked earlier. If we hit a removal spell that we're hoping to use to deal with Queller, I'm going to be extraordinarily sad. I might still cast this. They have nothing that deals with Bloodbraid. We'll give it a turn. They can deal 2 with Spell Queller. That's fine. They need another Spell Queller for me to be even close to scared. We have tons of green sources, tons of red sources. They're not keeping us off of Bloodbraid. Counter spells don't really do it. let's draw Path. I might start on that. I also might just start on Bloodbraid to see what our options are. Yes. What do we hit? What do we got? Bloodbraid Elf. It's a bird. Let's cast it. And in this spot, I think we're just going to Path Spellqueller. You know what? We can Path Thalia and just get all kinds of aggressive. And that's probably just the right play. I was thinking you Path this, and it's probably good, because then you get your Knuckleblade back and you win the long game. But they don't have any blockers available currently. We're going to get in for 6. They might have a Rattle Chains. We're giving them another land. That's a bad thing. But we get to swing for 6 here. It's probably uncontested. Extraordinarily likely that a minimum of 3 gets in, even if they have something like a Rattle Chains. We get to trade. Maybe it's a Path. Sure. I believe we have a Mountain. They're going to take 3. We could always chump with the bird or use it for mana. Who knows? All sorts of options available to us. And we're still drawing to kill that Spellqueller at our leisure. I think I like getting aggressive. That also might just make them not want to swing. Moorland Haunt, very good for them. That's probably going to buy them a bunch of time. If they attack, we probably just chump. Don't think Birds is very valuable here as a mana source. We're in top deck mode with 7 lands in play. Colors don't matter. We shouldn't have cast that until after we swung with Bloodbraid. That was an ever so slight misplay. We're going to get in there. They're probably going to exile a creature to make a dude. Block Bloodbraid. Oh, it's a Rattle Chains. They're going to straight up trade. Hexproof on Spellqueller. That's fine. That's definitely a spot where you want to hold this, just in case they're worried about Bolt. And if we had a Bolt, that would have been fantastic. Then again, I probably would have gone for Bolt on the spot, and they would have fizzled it, and I would have been sad. We're still in it, though. Many live top decks. Many, many live top decks. Tribal Flames, not quite lethal here, also not in the deck. Just something I wanted to think about. We're going to keep on chumping. Don't really have another use for these birds, so they may as well keep us healthy. 1 mana, gain 2. Not great. Not the worst. Wouldn't be surprised to see a token appear on our end step. Selfless Spirit, very good. I'm hoping to draw another Path. That'd be great. Bloodbraid into Path. Stomping Ground. We don't need to cast that. We're probably dead. We have a chance, though. We're not dead yet. We can give... Actually, oh geez. That Knuckleblade can get haste and +2/+2. If they brick and swing with Selfless Spirit, removal spell, specifically Path, because it gets through the Selfless Spirit. Oh, they have Moorland Haunt to chump. Never mind, not quite lethal in this very specific scenario. We're going to untap, draw a card, Wild Nicottle. We're just dead. We tried. We tried. Couldn't get there against the Spirits deck. What are you going to do? I'm sure I screwed up somewhere. Then again, they just kind of beat us because they're evasive. Also, game 1 was not close. Hopefully you all enjoyed that video anyways. I had fun slamming Bloodbraid. Did you have fun watching Bloodbraid get slammed? I pretty well just watched Bloodbraid get slammed too. I don't think there was a lot of actual decisions as far as playing Bloodbraid that went in on my part. Pretty sure Bloodbraid is just, you have it, you can do it, you should probably do it. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. I forgot to do the sign-off for the first video in this league, but rest assured, I still hoped that you enjoyed it, was grateful that you watched it, and was very excited for you guys to watch this one, which was next to that one. I'll see you guys later.